All right, we're all good. Ooh, hang on a second.
Louisiana is feeling spicy with
All right.
Mexican bar and grill. This is nacho Catholic meals.
All right, check.
Check. 1, 2. We're good.
And action, off we go. Welcome to Here's Your Freaking Podcast with the Jason Lee and Cluck Show. Thanks for joining us as always. You can stay up to date all things JLNK by heading over to jlnkshow.com. What do we got coming up on the podcast here today? We will take a look at exploring your sexual bucket list. There are lots of things on here. Some of them may be a little unsettling, including some of the other things we'll have in regards to the sexual bucket list. We learned about, we touched on this last week. I'm trying to remember what started the conversation when we were going through, we were talking about the definitions of some of the filthy words that you see on the internet. And one of the things we learned about was a ruined orgasm. We're going to find out exactly how does one get into this. And we're also going to talk about a fella's got a problem. His girlfriend apparently has and I'm using his words, a massive pee kink.
P kink.
Pee kink.
All right.
And he doesn't know if he's into it. So if somebody comes at you with a kink that they think they love, that they think they enjoy, and you probably may not be into, what do the experts recommend you do? And then we'll also, before we get out of here, we'll check in with Bonnie Blue. She is off on vacation.
Spring break, I believe.
Yeah, so we'll find out what Bonnie Blue's got going on. We'll start with how many times a week is the average American doing the sex? According to a new study,
I'm going to say the average is like 2.
average American does the sex once a week.
Wow, all
Number
right.
crunchers analyzed, or is it analyzed?
Hey, it's not analyzed. Don't pretend like it is.
The sex habits of people in every state, and they found out that only the good people in Alaska are doing it more than, or are doing it the most. Average Alaskan, and again, there's dick all to do in Alaska, right? What are you gonna do?
You got to keep warm, bro. Couple bodies together.
You're like, well, we could go out and shovel snow or do
not-
sex.
It's not like you can go into town.
Right, so the average Alaskan is doing it 2.8 times a week.
Wow.
New Mexico, not too shabby. I don't really know what there is to do in New Mexico. I don't think most people could find New Mexico on a map, so maybe that's why they're doing it so much. 2 times a week, the average New Mexico resident is doing it. Coming in last on the list, oh no. At the bottom, Nebraska, Maine, Colorado, and Michigan.
Oh.
They're boinking it out about a half a time a week. So they're doing the sex once every couple of weeks. Indiana, by the way, doing much better than Michigan, a time and a half.
Look at us go.
So they're doing it 3 times every couple of weeks. Ohio is almost getting it done once a week with 0.901 times. What about Florida?
Florida.
That's a gross ass state with a lot of
Yeah.
gross ass old people. They're doing it 1.2 times a week. So good for them. But again, ain't nobody,
I guess sitting
ain't no party like an Alaska party, I
Yeah.
guess.
In Florida, sitting at a bus stop high off meth jerking off doesn't count as doing it.
Well, when you're doing it, maybe you got a bucket list. What is on most Americans' sexual bucket list? It says when you add elements like fantasy, fetish, curiosity, kink. Boy, oh boy, will we talk about that kink in a few minutes. There's a lot of stuff you can do with, the sex. So they put together a sexual bucket list to see what most people have on there.
All right.
Some of these are pretty easy.
Dude.
Some have some of the highlighted. We'll start at the bottom and work our way. Lose your virginity. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer, right?
For a lot of us, that's the first thing you check off the list.
Mm-hmm. Sexual bucket list for most Americans. Watch porn with your partner. I should say most Americans. Half of Americans watch porn with your partner.
Let me guess
the
which
other half
half.
are like, fuck, I don't want to watch that.
Yep.
I did read a Reddit thing last week about that, and the question was, how do you get your partner to watch porn with you? And when you did,
Hey, you cover
what was
her
their
eyes.
reaction?
You cover her eyes and say, all right, now open them. And it's filled.
She's expecting a surprise party, and you're like, aha, bukkake.
Multi-man bukkake.
But they asked people, they said, hey, what happens when you finally talk your partner into watching it? And almost universally, and then they said, one guy said one thing that stuck with me, that universally they're like, yeah, my partner turns out totally into it. And including one guy says, yeah, not as much as I would like us to be into it, but we do have a porno night.
Oh, splendid.
Yeah, really funny. What else is on our sexual bucket list? Making a porn. Now, this is great because there's two categories of making a porn. One of them is with a partner.
Yeah.
The other is without a partner. No, nobody wants that. Look, you greedy-eyed little motherfucker. Put your hands up on the table.
Hey, look at him go! Look at him go!
Grosso.
Can't get enough of himself. Yuck.
Sexual bucket list for most Americans: have a threesome or a moresome.
That's again one of those, how do you even do that?
Try dom subsex. Try bondage. Role play. Try new sex toys is on the American bucket list.
All right, some of these are a little bit easy.
I like the detail here. Have someone use a sex toy on you, and they parenthesize, correctly and effectively, of course. What does that mean? She beat you about the shoulders and neck and the head?
It's not supposed to go in my mouth.
That's
my
not
mouth.
it. You're not supposed to hit me with it. Americans, sexual bucket list. Trust someone to write a fantasy or desire, then have it fulfilled.
Yeah, again, I'm not putting pen to paper. That's
like
hard evidence.
that's that box, like they have a compliment box or
Yeah,
a complaint
right.
box. Go ahead and write it down and put it in the box. We'll draw them out one at a time. I know I'm going to be on the losing end of that every single time.
Hey, I recognize this handwriting.
Oh, that's pretty fun. What's on your sexual bucket list? Fulfilling someone else's fantasy. Unless it's to beat you in the mouth with a sex toy.
Right. Fulfilling anyone's sexual fantasy would be pretty great, I
You
imagine.
poked me in the eye.
Ah!
Make a date out of visiting a sex shop. That would be like a sex toy shop, right? Those things off the interstate.
Hey, I floated this idea once with my wife, and she said, with your van, people will know you're there. And that was the end of that.
Get busy in a nature setting. All right, we'll go in the woods and do it. Okay.
That's how we got banned from the public park by our house.
Obviously, there are tons of other ones, but you can find the rest of the sexual bucket list and see if if you're down. Just head over to AskMen.com and just search.
Hey, maybe send her the link and say, "What do you think of this?"
Yeah, you can. They have 69 items on the sexual bucket list. All right, this is weird, and I just remember we kind of talked about this last week, and then I don't remember what we talked about, but I just remember it came up. The ruined orgasm. What is it?
Is this like edging?
It's different than edging. Maybe it was the edging conversation because they talk about the differences between this and edging.
Like, I think for a guy, in order to ruin it, like if it's happening, that's you got there. That's the end of it.
It says we're all starting to understand that when it comes to sex, there is as much fun to be had in the journey as there is in the destination with foreplay and experimenting with stuff. Open yourself up to new stuff. But for most guys, the point of sex is to get to the finish line, right? That's kind of the main event. And then it says some people enjoy it when their spurt gets spoiled.
What
that's
is
their
enjoyable?
thing.
What is enjoyable about that?
The overwhelming wave of pleasure and satisfaction is denied to them. It's called a ruined orgasm. The resulting physical frustration is part of the appeal. That sounds terrible. Any sort of frustration is unappealing.
They hand you an unexpected bill right in the middle of it. Oh.
They say the ruined orgasm happens when the stimuli is removed as the orgasm is about to happen. So it's like you're reaching down and you found $100 bill on the ground and you're getting ready to pick it up. Oh, and somebody has fishing line attached to it, and they pull it away, and you feel it. You feel it being pulled away in your fingertips. You're like, damn it, that was $100, and now it's gone.
I guess I'm wondering how you orchestrate something like this.
It says, obviously the stimuli is removed when the orgasm is about to happen. This is from a sex educator and head mistress. She's got a book called 7 Days of Domination. When it happens, the lack of orgasm. It says, with a ruined orgasm, the resulting orgasm lacks some of its usual intensity. So I guess there is a finish. It's just
Not the great finish?
right. It's not, like edging is like denying a finish, right?
Yeah, edging is when you get up almost there, then you stop, and then you cool off for a while, and you get rolling again.
Okay, I guess this.
But the whole point of edging is that eventually one time you're going to finish at the end.
It says when you have a ruined orgasm, an orgasm that could have been a 10 out of 10 becomes less intense. You might experience a solo ruined orgasm. Boy, how much do you hate yourself?
That's usually something unexpected happening, like a door opening, or
Is that the garage door going up?
Someone's home, or a cat jumps on the bed.
If you stop or you ease up on the genital stimulation right before you're finished, if your partner is the one getting you off, they can ruin your orgasm by stopping, slowing down, or changing the type of stimulation. That usually puts you over the edge.
Boy, that sounds like a recipe for a very angry partner.
It
Is that your thing? Fuck no, it's not my thing. It's not anybody's thing.
But what if it's their thing and they're like, this is going to become your thing?
That also applies. You've had so many great ones, you can afford to ruin a couple. Yeah.
It says having a okay, here it is. This is a great analogy. Having a ruined orgasm feels like reaching for a chocolate chip cookie. You can almost taste it in your mouth with that first bite, only to find out it's oatmeal raisin. Okay, now I totally understand what you're. Now I get it. When it comes to the ruined orgasm, this expert says some people enjoy the feeling of being desperate and horny. When one partner controls the quality and the duration of another person's orgasm, the power dynamic can be hot for everyone involved. To me, it seems like it's going to be hot for one person, and the other person's like, well, we got to fucking learn how to live with this now.
Well, this seems like being like gooning with more than one person, because that is when you keep yourself like horny and weird for as long as you possibly can, and this is just bringing somebody else into the fray.
They say there's something delicious about having the power. Now, how is a ruined orgasm different than edging? Ruined orgasms are often misconstrued with another kinky practice called edging. And a related phenomena known as gooning. They say edging takes you to the brink, but you don't orgasm right away or at all. It says you might get to that edge over and over again until you have one huge release. The buildup might last for minutes, hours, or days.
Days.
What?
I can't work. I can't do anything. I'm using PTO time.
It says the point of edging is to enhance the tease and eventually have the biggest, most satisfying orgasm possible. Whereas the point of a ruined orgasm is to have a less satisfying climax. Who is doing this? So how do you experience it? Well, you got to talk through it first, whether you're interested in giving or receiving. Start by sharing your desires and boundaries with your partner. Make sure you're both clear on what a ruined orgasm is. You're both consenting to try it out.
Just so we're clear, I'm going to ruin this for you. You're aware of this, right?
It sounds like one of us is getting ripped off.
I'm going to let the air out of your balloon right before.
Decide how the orgasm will be ruined. Does your partner want to get to the edge? Does your partner want to get to the edge with a vibrator before you turn it off? Do you want your partner to go down on you and stop right before you're done?
Again, I'm a gluttonous pig. I could never put up with that nonsense.
No. I know in theory we could agree to it. I'm supposed to tell you when to stop, but
Yeah.
there's a pretty good chance I'm not going to tell
Mhm.
you. They'll be like, oh, no, I can't believe it. I blew through the red light. Make sure you have a safe word. Now you have a plan in place. Agree to a safe word that allows either party to stop everything that's happening. No questions asked. That way, either of you can bail if you feel uncomfortable or you're just not having fun, they say. Okay. Once your
Again,
orgasm,
finding two people that are into this exact one teeny tiny thing. Yeah,
they say once your orgasm, where your partner's orgasm has been successfully wrecked, keep rolling around if you want to, or you could go straight to the post-sex cuddles. Well, this just sounds like one person is losing big time in this situation. One person's getting, whatever, what they want. That's the satisfaction of the power dynamic, knowing that you ruin somebody's day.
see, if someone was trying to ruin it for me, my goal would be try to get it as fast as I possibly could. Be like, beach, you got it.
Try to sneak
you.
around it, right?
Hilarious.
Called an audible at the line.
Yeah.
It turns out that both of you love the experience. You can come up with even more wicked ways to spoil each other's orgasms next time. That sounds terrible. Sounds like one of us is going to tell their friends about it, and the other one is going to have to go, well, I guess this is the way I live my life now.
You should have seen the look on his face. Oh.
This is hilarious. This dude has a problem, so he's asking for some advice. And the advice is funnier than the problem. This dude says, after a year of dating my girlfriend, just revealed that she has a massive pee kink. I don't know how that comes up in conversation. I don't know how comfortable you have to be with somebody to say, you know what, I love piss. But she did. She loves being peed on. And then it gets gross. Drinking, and all the other pee activities that could be involved. I'm feeling...
hey, just keep it away from my eyes, please.
Guy says, I'm feeling a couple of things. First, I'm surprised and shocked that I am now only hearing about this a year into dating, and it makes me question if she ever enjoyed the vanilla sex we've been having. Because everything that isn't pee at this point becomes vanilla sex.
Hey, you have two speeds, vanilla and piss.
Right, yeah. Anything else that isn't pee, to me, I guess, I would say, well, I guess that was kind of vanilla. I thought it was pretty crazy, until that pee talk started. He says, secondly, I have literally no desire, I have no desire to do any, his words, piss play. The idea doesn't turn me on. Sure, I guess I'd rather pee on than be peed on.
Well, of course.
But he says, I'd prefer, no pee at all. He says, I'm feeling torn because it seems like she really wants this. It's important to her. I don't know what to do. So what do?
You take one for the team and pee on her. I mean, how bad could it really be?
Oh, I bet it's pretty bad. I'm just,
No, if you're peeing on them.
Eventually it's going to escalate, though.
She's going to want to pee back on you?
It never doesn't escalate, You're like, well, that was fine. All right, well, let's take it one step further. Here's what the expert says. She wants golden showers. You're not into it. So obviously you're in an impasse here. A legendary sex columnist by the name of Dan Savage coined the phrase. This came up last week too. Good, giving, and game. GGG.
So if you don't want to pee on her, if she wants you to pee on her and you don't, you have no GGG.
You got bad game, right?
Can't have that.
He coined the phrase good, giving, game to describe the qualities of a sex partner. The final G, game, is what's relevant here. Game means you're open-minded to anything and you're willing to explore anything within reason. The sex expert says, I don't want to encourage you to push past a hard limit to do something you think would traumatize or scar you, because it will, probably. So if you feel comfortable starting with just a little pee,
hey, who's been able to pee just a little bit, though?
How do you get into the dance?
I don't know.
Shower together. The expert says, say you two shower together and you pee on her while the water is running.
Hey, if you're not into the pee thing, but she wants it, you pee on her while the shower's on, the water washes it right off her, no harm, no foul, everybody's cool.
You're like, hey, look, I'm peeing. Even if you're not peeing, it looks like you're peeing. You're like, hey, look, I'm peeing. It's possible that, here's where the slope gets slippery, all right? The peeing on somebody in the shower, that's relatively tame, right? There's a possibility that seeing how turned on your girlfriend gets will turn you on.
Oh, you get into it.
So again, that's that slippery slope.
Yep.
You say, everybody says nutty shit in the middle of, sex stuff. You're like, no, do me. And then all of a sudden you're getting peed on. That's not cool, man. It says, you never know how seeing how turned on your girlfriend turns you on, or you might enjoy it more than you think. I'm pretty sure I'm
It's not
I'm
so
safe on
bad.
this. I'm safe on this thing. I don't think I would enjoy it, and I can bet you I
Hey,
wouldn't enjoy
everybody says they're not into it until that first jellyfish sting happens, and then you're all about that pee life.
it. Take that, jellyfish. Don't ever sting me again. See, that's how the jellyfish gets peed on.
Yep.
It says this may be where you want it to stop. After peeing on her in the shower, you may think, I hated this, never again. And that's totally okay, as the expert. And then he takes an enormous jump, all right, between peeing on somebody in the shower and if you don't like it, consider having an open relationship.
So if you don't want to pee on her, she
That's
gets to have somebody else piss on her?
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. I mean, you could also just accept there are things you want to do in life you won't be able to do. Some of us have made, pretty good friends with that.
They say not an extremely open free-for-all, but a limited one with rules designed explicitly for the purpose of your girlfriend getting this kink met by someone else, because it's not something you can provide.
Hey, the only thing I would think if you weren't into the pee thing, the only thing you'd be into less is somebody else peeing on your girlfriend or wife.
I can't think of anything I would like less.
The dog's gonna be sniffing her funny. She's gonna be someone. That's.
Oh, she's gonna come home and the dog's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And the dog's gonna pee on her, trying to reclaim your girl.
Yeah, if I'm this guy,
Then I have to pee on her.
if I'm this guy, I'm gonna force myself to get into the pee thing because I don't want somebody else peeing on her out and about the world.
Yeah, I don't want to say, I don't want to poo-poo on an expert, but no, that's not an option at all. Hey, good luck, guy.
Yeah, no shit.
Good luck out there.
Dan Savage is extreme.
All right, we'll wrap on this. Bonnie Blue, we've talked about her so many times on the podcast and how she loves to have sex with as many dudes as possible. Great news if you're a fan of hers on OnlyFans, as she is off on spring break. And guess what she's doing on spring break?
Having sex.
Dudes. She's doing lots of dudes. Where did it say she went? Oh, she's in Cancun, Mexico. Obviously, you're going to find plenty of horny spring breakers partying down there. She was spotted during spring break at a night spot with the goal of, quote unquote, taking many virginities. That sounds like something Borat would say. Taking many virginities. In between selfie moments and all the sex that she's having, she's hinted at possibly giving an award to the best college student. Wait, what? Nobody wants this award. She's also hinted that she'll be giving an award to the college student with the smallest genitalia.
Oh.
Which is something I guess probably wouldn't be prized by anybody, would it?
Does she hand that out at the end of the week? Or is it like a moving trophy, like all of a sudden she just hands it to you in the middle and she goes, I've got bad news for you.
If you're not going to make it down to Cancun in time for spring break, you can't take part in the festivities. There's an OnlyFans option you could subscribe to and live vicariously through the magic of the video replay. To promote it, Bonnie Blue has even sent out a comforting messages to parents saying, if you're wondering what your kids are getting up to at spring break, don't worry, I'll live stream it for you. So she's making sure that you can stay updated on what little Johnny's doing while he's off on spring break.
It's an awkward moment if you're a pervert. You subscribe and all of a sudden you see your kid down there and you're like, hey, wait a minute.
I wonder do you think these dudes get paid to do that?
No.
They just get the satisfaction of saying, hey, I was, dude 2000 on spring break. Cancun 2025. Woo!
Hey,
let's go!
It's a lot cooler than the high interest credit card I signed up for to get a free beach towel.
Yeah, I guess. You walk away with an STD.
Yep.
Lasts longer than a beach towel, I guess, so that's good. All right, there you go. There's a podcast this week. Thank you, obviously, as always, for checking it out. Stay up to date, all things JLNK, by getting whatever you want at jlnkshow.com. And we will see you next Tuesday.